Hey guys, and welcome back to my Austria campaign, where in the first episode we revoked their privilege. Goal for the rest of the game. There are multiple of them. Most importantly, we have to finish our mission tree. Well, more than halfway through, so we need to keep expanding to France, Castile, England, Italy, kill the Ottomans, and the second part of that campaign is to get to Persia, change our religion to ZoroAUSTRIAN, and do the Zoroastrian mission tree while also owning all of the cities of the faith, because I don't have the Zoroastrian achievement yet. This will be ongoing, but for now we are filling the influence ideas. So I'm gonna start annexing some of the vassals to get a straight path towards the Zoroastrian. We need to annex Hungary, Wallachia, Bulgaria, and Byzantium. What I will start with is taking a look which technology you need to steal the maps. I'm pretty sure I can already steal maps. Yes, we'll just need to replace improved relations with spy networks in various countries around here, so we have the clear visibility on Persia. Make sure to check partner also this channel on eba.com. That's a marketplace for thousands of games, DLCs, and gift cards for any of the platforms. So if you're looking to play any good game in the coming future, make sure to check the link in the video description. We need to fight both France and the Ottomans. That's why I'm gonna attack France and make the Ottomans a co-belligerent, so we fully get stuff from both of them. Obviously all the subjects will be helping, so each time I declare the war there will be a bit of lag, and you see I'm having plenty of money, and soon also manpower is actually not as good as I would expect, but I have plenty of money in case I would like to use mercs or simply invest my money into the useful stuff. Also both England and Castile would like to help us, but I'm actually having my heir over there because I wanted to already break that alliance. Because I was failing to get a Habsburg, but we have a Habsburg heir over there, so now we just need to have the Enrique to die. Unless they can be also the defender of faith, since I have money for that. In the mind that I'm having, I should be definitely trying to get Malta for the province wars Caucasus, but you see, not so much. Insane for Granada. It's not a world conquest campaign, so I will not be tryharding to get this. Let's see, you know what we should do? Let's just invest into our homeland, and how about we make sure that we have the manufactories here at home. And we can use that war for stuff like separate piecing Genoa for their homeland. Obviously that's a lot of AE, but who am I gonna get that AE on my subjects? And Hugo's Age of Reformation, in which we are having actually just one bonus. We need to convert more provinces, we need to unify a culture. That's actually not much we're gonna get, and we would like to get that Wars Caucasus, but again, I'm not tryharding in the world conquest, so I don't have to really go hard for it. So if I go to the Timurids, we click to steal maps, Persia, we go to QQ, we click to steal maps, Mashrik, thank you. And that confirms to us that Zoroastrian is still there. But for how much longer? Let's not risk and get borders with the Timurids in that war, so we can attack them almost immediately. That's not gonna be an easy war. 74,000 troops there. I should be probably using mercs already. I'm not lacking money, but you know what's gonna increase that much farther? Diverting trade from all these subjects. Just in case you don't know, here's where I'm diverting the trade. It's a bit of a manual process, you can't do it all subjects at once. I'm almost done. This will probably make some of the subjects go bankrupt and don't have money and don't have armies. But I don't care. Now look. 14.6 of trade income. I need 2 month ticks. 120. It is just this free when I'm collecting, because, you know, when they don't have any trade power, it just goes automatically farther. We need more trade power in the English channel, because the English are stealing part of it. And gave me the trading in bonuses. Wine, wool, cloth, fish, salt, naval supplies, copper, iron is very useful, livestock, Glass also very useful, paper also very useful. That's what I love. We should also start investing money in Venice to get some reform progress growth. I mean, why not? If you have money, invest that. And most importantly, trading in grain, which is land force meat modifier. But honestly, guys, it's not like I need it. Actually, when peace and agenda, I forgot that I could enforce religion on them, but at this point it doesn't matter who is Catholic, who is Protestant, especially that myself, I will be Zoroastrian. So maybe we're gonna convert enforce religion on everyone to also be Zoroastrian. Not the most beautiful border I've ever done. 600,000 troops died on our side. But that's a border with the Timurids, which I'll be able to claim at one point. But yeah, that's what we wanted. Let's also go and feed Byzantium with some of these provinces. I mean, in the European part of the conquest, because the Asian part I'm gonna leave for myself. But yeah, we also need to piece out France, obviously. Let's see how many more provinces we need in here. We need 5 more. Okay. So let's take maybe something painful for France. Like that. I'm sorry for the border gore. And also the Naples provinces, because we need to also conquer the entirety of Italy. That's perfect. You see that the Holy Roman Empire is growing. I could take the next reform here. How about we actually just gonna take this bonus? Doesn't matter. And here in the French terrains, yeah, first of all I can take this. Since I did it via conquests, every province of the French region will be split into numerous non-subject nations and added into the Holy Roman Empire if we are an emperor. That's ideal, because I don't need to own this directly. Plus, it's great nations for the Reconquest CB. Fine enough, it's also split Champagne that was already in history and my subjects, and they released Picardy on top of that. But once again, I don't mind. But wait, they joined the HRE without being my subject? Is that even possible? That's what happened. Okay. So against the Timurids, we'll need to claim, but once I do have it, I will just use turmeric stacks, independent and grand companies plus this army. Should be enough, I don't need more. But at least these guys, I can vassalize them diplomatically. So how about we limit a bit the spy networks and we start improving relations with these guys. Like look, Picardy, offer vassalization, and they shouldn't even take my Diplo slot, as you see. Since I have so much of admin mana, I will actually go ahead and expand the infrastructure on my gold mines. Simply because I can. And with the mercs built for the war with the Timurids, I've got a mission that requires me to have 125,000 of troops, which will unlock me a nobility privilege that grants up to 2 monthly diplomatic power and reputation. And then stats for my ruler, which I don't care about. It's 37. I'm waiting for the last knight, Maximilian von Habsburg. That gives CAF compatibility. But let's take a look at that privilege. We have to cancel one of this. Doesn't matter, let's take down the 4th one. And there it is. Right now it's gonna be +1 Diplo point that I will be receiving from that. Anyway, Timurids, you have plenty of armies, but that's not enough. Here goes the tier 6 guarantee form, which is the Great Council of Mechelen that I unlocked from the mission tree earlier. That's a guarantee form that stops the Dutch revolt from happening. It also gives me yet another Diplo annexation cost, libertarian subjects, which will be helpful when I enforce allegiance on them, and governing capacity. I have so much admin mana, nothing to spend it on. Maybe stability. I could take this technology already, especially that I have some reductions on the tech. Cause you know what? Just take it. I'm not gonna def in this campaign. It's not at all meta campaign. I could have just probably waited for the colonialism to appear first. I guess it's fine. I'll let it spread in my homeland. The last influence idea is Vassal Force Limit. Unjustified demands. Discipline, Reinforced Speed. I love Reinforced Speed and Chance of the New Heir. So look, my force limit goes up from 306 to 480. Oh boy, that's also a policy for the Diplo annexation cost. Which means we've got minus 75% of it stacked. So just after that war, I'm gonna show how powerful it is. Oh, anyway, not. I should think if I want to annex these guys, because we have 40% chance of annexing them for free, inheriting them when the ruler dies. So yeah, these guys I'll probably not touch, especially that I have wrong advisor in here. So that chance is in fact higher. Not, yeah, it is 46%. And you know what? I changed my mind. I will def all of the Austrian homeland provinces, each to at least 20 of development. For that we need to get burghers loyal to get the 10% dev cost, and then we can start the deving. Obviously it's not too cheap. And this is Zlewikk. Let's start with our home. Do this. Ideally also push Vienna to level 3 center of trade. So that's why I'm not gonna start deving until this is done. That's what I'm taking from the Timurids. Border Gore, plenty of aggressive expansion. Doesn't matter, I can, by the way, get some tech costs from here as well. So I mean that admin tech push wasn't too good of an idea. Now, why I wanted to boost Vienna to level 3? Because at level 3, entire state is getting additional development cost. That's why I can then do this. Twice here, then expand infrastructure to get additional 15% development cost, and then get it to 20. Same in here, get it to 15, expand infrastructure, get it to 20. Same in here, I should have Diplo, but Diplo is reserved for something else. So let's just keep doing that. And now you see the entire state is nicely developed, and we'll be doing that to everything. Well, this one is not yet, but we'll be getting there. That should also help having an even stronger manpower source. We also need to get to these provinces that I just developed up to 3 buildings. Aren't here up to 3 buildings everywhere already? Well, almost. Let's get in there. And look, if I wanted to start annexing Byzantium, this is not gonna be a long process, because it's gonna take a bit more than 1.5 years, and I'm gonna spend 15 Diplo points a month. That's not gonna help with opinion of the other subjects and HRE members, but as told you, I want to have that direct connection of this land. If I want that annexation to work, I should also ideally take the privilege that will make it me not lose Diplo rep when annexing subjects. I just don't have a slot. And it's fine, I mean, it goes down from 12 to 9, and overextension is gonna get it back to the same level. And you know, Byzantium is not a small subject, they are having 164 development. 0 legitimacy. Oh, they are bankrupt, aren't they? I don't know if these guys are bankrupt. With the Austrian provinces developed, I'm unlocking a new state edict that gives the religious province governing cost. The next one in here is actually to dev Vienna to 50. We're not so far away, and I may get part of it from some concentrate developments from my conquest, especially in France. Real instance is Byzantium is already annexed. The next one is Bulgaria, which is gonna be even faster. This one takes exactly a year to be annexed, and that is with the negative diplomatic reputation. No diplomatic reputation malus. Did you take something else that is causing us to not lose the Diplo rep? I mean, that's perfect. And look, just for us. So Constantinople, which Ottomans developed, allows us to get the Vienna development to 48. Anything else? Yes. Now it's 49. So I just have to dev it once in order to get the next mission. The Wien Waltz gives me prestige that will convert into a bit of mana, and Vienna itself gets a perma modifier for all estates loyalty equilibrium plus 10% and monthly false splendor. That is a really useful modifier. Well, wait, that's a conditional modifier. What does it mean? I need to have loyal nobility and 80 prestige. Anyway, I could do Renovato Imperii already, but yeah, that's not really needed. Since I have so much money, I started building plenty of manufactories in the lands of my subjects. Because as mentioned, they transfer trade to us, so in the end, that's the value that is going into our pockets. And the province source caucus versus other legions will be gonna be certainly useful. Especially in expanding the HRE, because ideally we should have entirety of Europe in the Holy Roman Empire. So I need to conquer Russia, Scandinavia, England, and Iberia. But it's just an extra on top of the missions. Again, the goal of this campaign is absolutely not try-harding. I just want to have fun. I want to have nice borders. I want to go and become a ZoroAUSTRIAN. There goes the maximum. Oh, yes, from inherited. That's what I've been telling you, 40% chance it happened. So you're gonna, have the Austrian Empire having this land and having even the subjects across the whole Europe. What I wanted to tell you is we've got the Maximilian von Habsburg on the throne, so the historical leader we've got from the event, and that should make it easier to get this event, this mission that requires me to have 25,000 of cavalry. Which I'm obviously gonna save money for and then just build to destroy immediately after. I am trying to handle the GAF capacity, I think. Oh yeah, we need to start cancelling the nobility privileges to get this below 40, as that's what we have on the missions about. And we're gonna give clergy some GAF capacity, and we'll continue making sure that every single of our provinces has the card house. That's because I want to fully state everything that we're owning. So saying I inherited everything at 35 autonomy, but it's all 100 without possibility to decrease it until the war. Wait, I have the war. I'm always looking right now at the top to see if we are at war, but yeah, that's true. Since I needed to get this below 40, I decided that I would def a little bit. All of these provinces, so like the Vienne culture is really strong, and I think that last dev click should be enough to get it below 40. Yes, so now I can take von Rapp reforms mission, which is one of the two. A lot of nobles in Vienne. But I would unlock a nobility estate privilege, which will be scaling with the estate loyalty, giving us the death cost. But influence has to be less than 40, that's a crucial part. Or, if the influence is above 80, I would get national manpower modifier. Let's try the death cost one, that's actually very interesting. Especially that the equilibrium is 68, so it's gonna be increasing. For this, I need to have 5 countries with the von Habsburg as the dynasty. I'm not playing much of a focus on spreading the dynasties. Right now it is England, Bohemia and Spain. I need to make sure to improve relations with these three. I can actually just go to the vassal interaction and place relative on the throne. Maybe I should have done that on nations where I have good relations, so it's above 120. Like here. And like here. And then I don't have to wait, but I actually can wait for Spain to reach 120 relations in regional Baltic. So I can take the mission, spread the Habsburgs. That gives me yet another diplo annexation cost. And there's also a spread dynasty peace offer, which will spread the von Habsburg dynasty, as well as give 25 of each monarch power. So now my diplo annexation cost, I'm pretty sure it is at the limit. And this 85. I mean, if I took this, I would get it to the limit, but their influence would be higher than what I need to get that death cost. But anyway, for example, I'm annexing Bohemia, and you don't see it, but it's gonna finish in October this year. To get AEIOU, I just need to get up to 250,000 of an army, which is a perma diplomatic annexation cost. Okay, let's get 25,000 cavalry first, and then we'll be trying to build out the infantry. I also love my mana generation, 14, 17, 14. That cavalry that I'm gonna immediately remove is giving me, since we are in past of age of this cavalry, for the next 20 years I'm gonna get Yearly Army Tradition. That's kinda useless. Now we need to get our army up to 250,000 troops. Why I was annexing Bohemia? First of all, for roleplay, for the Austria-Hungary, but more importantly, I needed to have twice the development of Spain, which I now do, which in exchange is gonna give me for 10 years the restoration of Union Casus Belli, and will unlock us a Uniting the Iberian Crown decision, allowing us to create a Personal of Castile Spain, which we will be able to take as long as we have the following requirements: Trust 80, 190 opinion, 4 diplomatic reputation, and having that Casus Belli. What's the trust of Spain towards us? Okay, so I just need to improve relations before I click that mission. He also goes Council of Trent, which I'll really need for our mission tree. For now, I could choose between Conciliatory, which is more improved relations, and Harsh, which is the missionary strength. Let's go for the Conciliatory. Especially that we are converting to another religion soon. Okay, let's do it. Click it. And yes, I can do that decision without shooting a single fire on Spain. If you were playing and you wanted to, for example, turn your campaign into world conquest, you should not do that with these borders. Because instead, you should declare war on Spain to get Alhambra and to get Malta. But since I don't have to do that, I'm not doing that. With 250,000 of an army, that goes that final mission in this part of the tree. So the diplomatic annexation cost is an absolute minimum right now. It cannot be lower. We've stacked the -95, but at -90, it is the lowest you can get. So if you wanted to annex, for example, Kraków, it would cost me 60 diplo points. But I don't need to annex anyone else. What I need to do is to kill the Ottomans, kill France, kill Portugal. These are the next steps. If you use a holy war on someone, their ally will not join if they're the same religion as you are. That's why I'm gonna declare that war goal on the Ottomans. And in a second, with a separate war goal on France. The Universal Empire? Imperial Incident? I don't think I've ever seen that incident before. The Spain will no longer be in Union. That's the first option. The second option is I'll get AE with all Imperial princes. And a lot of opinion. But yeah, obviously, Spain is in our hands. What if I convert Spain to integrated personnel? It says it's gonna be easy to integrate and no cost to diplomatic relations. Doesn't really matter that much, but still 50 years until I can annex them. Multicultural empire, so taking care of the Bohemian, Hungarian provinces, gives me a few options. 2 of them. 1, enacting tier 1 Imperial Austrian monarchy country form instead of what I have now, which gives me representative from development and influence nobility. Instead, I would get max promoted cultures, monarch diplo skill, and promote culture cost. Or I could get Austrian absolute monarchy, which is every time we convert a culture, all my states gain loyalty, plus I get the culture conversion cost, monarch diplo skill again, and culture conversion time. Let's go for the Imperial Austrian monarchy, as we'll be just simply accepting the cultures. How about we actually start doing so with the key cultures? It's not as important as in EU5. Since I'm on my GAF capacity, I can start leveraging that state edict that gives me province government cost, which is not a problem because we have plenty of money. And that's a decent impact. We are down to 1063. We definitely need to unlock the state houses, which is already in our subjects. Tech 12 is required for that, which you can do already, but I will be spending a lot of admin mana coring the Ottoman provinces. At least I unlocked very good lands to develop here in Hungary. You know, I want, if I develop anything, it has to be here, as in here I'll be able to, you know, get the religion converted. I need to get Ottomans out of the entirety of Anatolia and Caucasus. You see, on a good way. There will be just one more war needed to achieve that, and that's a lot of overextension that I just grabbed. That's fine to swerve this name placement. From France, I most importantly need Naples provinces. And then, how about we focus on giving course back to our subjects? Because all of these are our subjects except Burgundy. It's not much. What if I take these lands manually? It looks like I can take more manual, but not much because they are in the same religion. After second check, it's more or less the same. It just accidentally was giving locations, provinces to England in the first try, and now it should be better. And there will be probably 2 more wars needed to deal with France. Remember that we have a mission in here to be hegemon in Europe. That's 47 more provinces in France, Italy and England. I'll have to break that English alliance. But before that, let's go and deal with Portugal. And finally enough, Burgundy is in the Hoyerman Empire. But not as my subject. Tech is also GAF capacity. It's temporarily not a problem, but since remember I was expanding infrastructure in plenty of provinces, so all of this already, I can build a lot of state houses. And state house, as a reminder, it gives possible number of buildings, so it doesn't take a slot. That's obviously a manufacturing building, so you cannot have 2 of them at the same time. It also gives province guaranteed cost and the entire state guaranteed cost, and also a flat decrease. I will follow the next round because I need entirety of Italy for the mission tree, but I'm gonna give away each province of Pope to someone else. Spot is gonna get Terracina, Perugia is gonna get Rome, Urbino is gonna get Ancona. Now it looks like I have to take it all for myself because otherwise there's not enough war score cost. I guess it's not fine. I can't take it all. Why is Rome costing 79 war score? I guess it's fine, we're just gonna take this 2 in that war and the Rome, the next one. Oh yeah, especially that I still need to eat Naples, so there's no rush. Anyway, with this taken from Portugal, I'm gonna feed it into Spain as I don't need this. That's a mission, the Crown of Spain, which gives me perma 10 power production. It's always 100 anyway. And I get a modifier Crown of Iberia until the end of this age for an AE impact and yet another Diplo rep. Just so you know how much we can def. Look at this. It is 28. Let's go to 25. Like this is 19. This is 20. This is 21. This is 17. I don't have eco ideas. I don't have any other like very strong def cost modifiers besides the one that I got from modifier in Pest. This needs to be actually below 40 to be the full modifiers, and I'm not gonna like def fully yet. Just for now spend Diplo points so I don't hit the points cap. Could also go have some fun with Russia. There's an imperial band that we have on them. Could also do Sweden. Let's go after Russia, just so we expand the empire in here. With all the state houses finished, we're at 740 gov capacity, and that's with me deving Hungary and Slovenia hard, and even expanding the infrastructure in there. This is just some lovely deving, and it's still before the universities. Still, the deving is really nice, especially that the free trade center is in here. So I'm deving to 15, then expanding infrastructure, getting it to 20. I'm spending some admin mana on this, on the expanding infrastructure, and the other mana on the actual deving. You know, the part of the land that I developed looks like. Since our Kremlin hit over 50%, thanks to deving, I did not seize at all because I'm keeping these guys loyal. We are already having some rhythm progress growth from it, which is now growing at 1 every month. With Silesia developed, we are gonna get extra dev cost there, but also good spruce modifier, and all the provinces, Breslavux, will get production and a counting house. So I want to spawn the Zoroastrian rebels, but if I start converting this, so the Zoroastrian zealots are right now loading, and obviously we cannot just like accept their demands, because they'll need to have 50% of the development in the country, but we need to let them happen. We need to make sure that all of our subjects are passive, so they don't think about killing my rebels. We're a long way ahead of us to get all of this converted. Well, you know what? I'll actually stay the stuff here, because the next deving I might actually do in here. Just as I know this will be converted faster, right, than the lands in the west. So while this is loading, it might take a while. I think we can do a quick invasion of the British Isles. That's why I've built the heavy ships, that's why I've built the transport ships. We just get 2 stacks in here to do it efficiently. Okay, not so convinced this is gonna work. Calais is an easy wargo at least. I told you, I want to have entire Europe until the under the HRE. That's why this attack is happening. And they have definitely stronger and bigger, like bigger not, but they have stronger fleet than us. And that's why I've put all my trade ships, transport ships and heavy ships in one. It's not because it is gonna fight better, it is not. It's because I just want to at least discourage them from engaging on us. Why I'm gonna land successfully, hide my fleet. My subjects are, by the way, all AFK, so that's what I requested. I'm gonna put them on like on sieging, at least for that war, because the Zoroastrian rebels are gonna load for a while. Because now with this sieged, I can just click that. Oh no. Disable. I hate when that happens. I can just do this. Tick. Hello? Rest of the fleet? Hello, human resources? Thank you. Since I was also converting my stuff, I completely forgot that this is actually progressing. So I want to just turn off the missionaries maintenance. And once you land here, it's an easy thing to beat the British. The army quality is not the best. They also picked maritime defensive exploration ideas, so easy peasy. I just hit the deploy points cap. Let me grab the institution. So this is still ahead of time, so there's no need to spend extra. Why, you can just go ahead and dev your provinces a tiny little bit. You know, there's never like enough of deving. That also gives me tier 7 guarantee force, so that administrative cadre. Where it doesn't really matter, but I'm gonna go and pick the advisor cost. Well, I was laughing at Great Britain, but they have 5.6 morale. Whoa. I'm shocked. I don't know what's going on with the Zoroastrians, but it did not move a needle. It's still at 0%. Now that I said it, it moved by 10% in each of the last 2 months. Oh! Scarborough. I was actually printing a map recently for a customer that wanted the city to be included, so we had the Yorkshire map over there. I can peace out for all these provinces. I just need a bit more of water score. Only now that the technologies are behind, I can take them. 385, 301 and 550 of mana. I'm ready for deving again. Third is making sure I have the crossing, hurting them as much as possible, and I'm gonna simply release the subjects here, because this development will not help changing the religion later. And then I'm getting everyone to passive again. Hopefully these subjects will join HRE at one point. And we are about to have the zealots. Before that we have to clean as many rebels as possible in here. That's why I brought 2 armies. And I will be making sure that there is absolutely no one making our life harder in here. There is ZoroAUSTRIAN zealots, we can go ahead and provoke them, so this is a bigger stack. And go spread the love, guys. Just as I told you, I've cleaned all the rebels in here, so you know, they don't randomly pop up and kill my ZoroAUSTRIAN zealots. So from my memory, it might be bad, but because I haven't played that much for a while, to be able to convert to ZoroAUSTRIAN, it has to have more development than any other religion. Doesn't mean it needs to be 50 plus, it just needs to be more than the Catholic. So the fact that we conquered Orthodox provinces, the fact that we conquered Sunni provinces, and we have some of the Protestants helps a lot. That's why I was not really converting that much. Look what these guys are doing. They are going to my other provinces through the goddamn Karakun. There's like there's no possibility for that to work without them dying. I'm trying to follow them. I'm gonna try rushing the forts, and I'm trying to yeah, they're dying in here. 28th. Maybe they have a chance defending the fort, but I doubt. You see, I'm trying my best to protect them, and I think that worked. Yes. The question is if they're gonna get killed now by the QQ rebels on the other end. Oh boy. Yep, they are dying. They converted 1 province before going suicidal. You know what? I will take more provinces around here just to make the movements of the rebels converting a bit smoother when I'll be able to get them from Ardakan or whatever. And I have the rebels loading just very slowly. But I have one simple solution for that. I will take plenty of lands in the war with France, which will give me overextension, which will give me a lot of extra unrest. For us to have, a bit of pain. So let's wait with that. Also the war with France will allow me to complete another part of the mission tree, where I'm grabbing the entirety of Italy. I need Paris definitely, but then I can't take much more. Is this costing so much? Yeah, all the wars cost this 3, but I need it for the mission tree, plus Paris. That was very much required. Same as it is required to get this to 9, because of that mission. So I can grab King of Naples, which is giving me unjustified demands, A impacts, increasing the trade center there, and 1 true King of Italy, which gives me the permanent improved relations, and full travel time, which is quite strong in case you want to do a world conquest, and improving the skill of my ruler. Oh, by the way, I just need to add 1 of this to a trade company to get this mission, which is additional merchant and the colonial range. Plenty of perma claims in India. For this I need to own 3 provinces in India that are down south here. This is China, this is Australia. Well, that's the most painful part of the tree, but we are about to unlock the exploration ideas. I think in that war with the Timurids, it would be good to get a board in here, but this should be good enough as well to buy the trade companies. Yeah, just taking this ahead of time, so I can go and take the... I can't take the exploration ideas! Shit! It's fine. With expansion, I can also do funky stuff, because there's a nobility privilege That allows me to recruit... Is it nobility privilege? We need to unlock the colonies first. This is why I conquered Paris for myself. It's national tax modifier and income from vassals. So right now we are earning 102 from vassals, which is a lot. But to do it, we need to accept the French culture. I should be able to do that. Cancel Slovene. Then state this. Turkey should be better, maybe instead of Walloon. Then accept Francienne. And now I can go and get Versailles. With this level, it's a month, 102, or maybe it doesn't give for level 1. And income for vassals, does it? Yeah, it does not, it gives the tax meta. Let's get it on the next level now. On level 2 it goes up to 128. And on level 3 this goes up to 155. Bastion of the Church gives me resistance to religious conversions for 20 years. With that first colony taken, I can take a native policy, which allows me to unlock privileges related to getting an explorer. Let's go ahead and get that explorer. Now, Bachmanis, would you like to sell me something? Charter company. Thank you. And that's automatically a full core. How about Bengal? Would you like me to sell me something? Yes. Just pay enough. Quite a lot that they want. And I think we need to buy one more. Yes. Is that enough for that mission? Holdings in India. Oh. It has to be a port. I did not buy any ports. God damn it. And since Yast no longer has the modifier for the rebels, I can get second ZoroAUSTRIAN zealots from here. This commander is saving us, as they are selling us the tactical trade centers. And with Kotte, there goes the mission holdings in India. That next step is to go to China as well as Australia. Australia should be fine. China probably as well, because we can charter the companies. The rebels that are ongoing cannot be provoked, so I have to patiently wait for these guys to hit 100%. The reformation going on for enough time, I can grab the Holy Empire, which gives intolerance to true faith and yearly Papal influence. It will not matter much soon. And then the last one in here requires me to improve relations with all of the HRE members. And looks like France still holds some HRE lands, so I have to take care of them as soon as the truce ends. So to fix the relation part, I have to do it manually, which is okay. I'm just gonna go on that list. And you see on our own subjects, all of them are above 0. But obviously a few guys that are in the HRE and are not my subjects. I have to improve with them. And I think it's just Lithuania. Yeah, I'm sure about that. Let's go and improve that quickly. France is problematic because I cannot conquer too much from them in order to take this mission, because Burgundy needs to be happy. And I'm gonna get a lot of aggressive expansion for taking the provinces directly. So what I'll do is I'll make sure to release nations. Auvergne, Bourbon, Brittany. And then I'll take this film for myself. I should keep these guys happy. So I can go and click this. Since we are centralized, I'm gonna get 15 prestige. Yay, that's what I wanted. But yeah, 25 power projection. And the strong Duchess privilege is gonna give more vassals for Summit and more income from vassals. And then I'm gonna unlock Imperial War Leader nobility privilege for additional morale. Doesn't matter, I don't even have a slot there, do I? I should do. I do have strong Duchess. So now my force limit is at 776. Or does it need a month tick to update? 829. My income from vassals is 194. These rebels are unbelievable. Instead of taking these lands, can you imagine that they are relocating to Daman? To Daman? What if I just release subjects in here, guys? I actually don't need this anymore, just this is helpful for the colonial range. And here's funny part, they are still relocating to Daman. What if I blockade you? What if I also just move some of my troops so they are not afraid to come and convert? I'll try resieging something. Maybe that is gonna make them move. But I'm slowly losing hope. But yeah, whatever. Let's grab from you a center of trade. Macau should give me the mission for regions of China. And now we need to settle in Australia. I can start colonizing it, can't I? That's too much of a distance. Yes, I can set the colonies in here. No, guys, these guys are just... Oh, I wanted to say they turned off their brains. But they actually started moving the moment I came closer. The second time. Also, since the income from vassals is solely coming from the tax income of the vassal, I'm building churches everywhere. Also my locations, but most importantly subjects. I'm curious how much I'm gonna increase that to 100 to. Oh, guys. We have a tour of Portugal. Which means we can grab their Australian provinces. I just need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 provinces. I don't know, I feel like they're afraid to go this path because of Karakoyunlu. So I'm gonna attack Karakoyunlu to fix that. But oh, Bahmanis, Ottomans, Timurs, and Russia. What are these alliances? Rebels on the suicide mission again. And dying again to QQ. At least the new ones are loading and they are bigger. And the new rebels are immediately going after Karakoyunlu. Just this time they should win by the quantity. Conquering some provinces from Great Britain on the other hand, finally gives me the hegemon of Europe, which is decreasing the years for personal union integration, and increasing the chance to inherit the personal union subjects. And our chances of getting charismatic negotiator is tripled. Could I really annex Spain? In 2 years. I'm curious what is gonna be our chance of inheriting them naturally. I think they're too big. Hello there, Australian. Austrian Australia. And that gives me the last colonial mission. Trade steering. The only 2 that I have left is the Ottoman missions. If I'm correct. Yeah? The only thing that we have to do is now to kill the Ottomans. Get them idiots. What are you doing? You're not supposed to go in here. With Satgaon chartered and trade company investments done, we've got one of the few achievements for this campaign, the Ostenders. We still have to do ZoroAUSTRIANs, a EOU, as well as one more ZoroAUSTRIAN achievement. But first we need to complete this, and for that there's one more war with the Ottomans needed. See, in the meantime, in getting the country converted, it's already 13% of development. I also started building state houses inside my subjects. Now it's crazy, but the rebels, I have 2 stacks of them already. One is slowly sitting down Anatolia, but the other one went through Crimea for 40k of the Ottoman troops without encountering them, and they came to Slovakia. Which I absolutely don't mind, because they are getting into the high development area. One of my plans was to feed all of these lands to my subjects, except the capital. Then change the religion, because this will be more than 50, like more than Catholic lands. And finally click the Renovato Imperi over here to get the lands back. That's why I'm also building all the state houses. I'm still not so sure about that. At least I might end up just giving away the Burgundian lands in here, just to increase our percentage as well as the Italian lands. Can actually give away the Italian lands. But for the fun of the campaign, you know, I'm playing as a religion. I'm not doing pretty much anything in the last 5 decades. or even more. For the fun of the campaign, I'm actually gonna let these guys convert as much as possible, because once I switch my religion, I'm gonna start enforcing religions on every single of my subjects instead of doing the Renovated Imperii. And this time it didn't work, the guys are dying, but I'm about to get another stack, just not as big as the previous two. We are anyway very close to get this done. In the meantime, looks like the Ottomans ate both the Mamluks and Tunis, but we need to kick them out of this terrain as well as Cyprus and Rhodes. We've Pesht converted by them. Actually, we're quite good because they converted 2 gold mines. With Pesht converted, quite sure that should be enough. 40.3, 43.3. So if I go in here, I could accept their demands already. But here goes the big but. It increases autonomy in all of the occupied provinces. That's why before I surrender, I will make sure. Yeah, actually, to increase this, I'll make sure to reoccupy most of the provinces. Also, before I even accept their demands, I'll make sure to deal with the Ottomans first. So let's declare that final war on the Ottomans. I hope. We see there'll be some wars over here for the religious centers, but I don't care much. And I'm gonna switch my subjects focus to siege for us. I really need to piece out this war ASAP because my subjects are pushing back the Zoroastrian zealots. So this few more and I'll be no longer having the decision to convert. But I'm about to piece out the Ottomans really close. Actually, I could not do that yet. I'm close. Perfect timing. Just one last Zoroastrian province is left in our hands. And I think this should be enough to get the mission. Scourge of Europe, which gives me Bulwark of Catholicism. That is missionary strength. It's gonna be useful towards the true faith. Papal influence is not gonna be much used. And Emperors of the East will give me Imperial Authority modifier. And if Byzantium was our subject, it would become a Latin Empire. But it's not gonna be our subject. Now if you pass the day, there it is. The Austrian achievement is done. We can then go ahead and accept this guy's demands. So we are Austrian now. See, actually a decent amount of the lands got converted, just like homeland is not. But if we pay for the missionaries, yeah, I think this is gonna be fast and clean. We now have to focus on getting the Zoroastrian religious centers, grabbing the Zoroastrian bonus. How about we start with the missionary strength? And to get the Zoroastrian mission tree, we need to form Persia. So for that, we'll also need to change our culture.
I am actually coming from the future, because it turned out that the recording of this entire achievement run took me 1.5 hours. So I make a decision for at this point when I converted to Zoroastrian to actually pause episode 2 and also bring you the rest of the content in episode 3. And this is because it will turn out I'll have to do much more to complete the Zoroastrian mission tree than I originally expected. So it's gonna be still a lot of content in the next episode. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. Make sure to check our map store. You see some of the map examples behind me. strategymaps.co. We've got some maps of 1444, 1337, and over 190 of actual historical maps, as well as some art. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you soon. Bye!